so on the wrist, this thing, you know, this wears basically exactly like the 5600 for me. So for me, this is like the ideal size of a G-Shock. It's not too big. It's small enough to where I can still do everything for me. And then the fact that we have these world time modes, we have it solar powered, so I'm never going to have to replace the battery potentially. So, and you can even check the battery power. If you look down right here at the bottom, we have that little bar. So we have medium power right now. Low, medium, high, you can see the lettering right there, L, M, and H. So right now it's medium power. If I was to wear this outside, the power will go up. So we're going to get more battery that way. All right, so what I have in this box might just be the ultimate G-Shock. Now, this is all my opinion, but let's check it out. This is probably supposed to be the best G-Shock in my opinion. Now, this doesn't come in a 10 because this isn't one of those like Casio Oaks. This is supposed to be the Casio G Shock 5610. Now, from all intents and purposes, this is supposed to look very, very similar to the one that I already have on, which is the Casio G Shock 5600. But let's get this unboxed and really check it out. Now, this doesn't come in the classic Casio blue and white box, and it doesn't come in the much more expensive Casio G-Shock 10s. But we do have our instruction manual. I always highly recommend to read this, especially when you're getting these. There's always something that a lot of these Casios, especially ones like this, can do that, you know, you're going to want to read this for. And as you can see right here, it also comes with the G-Shock warranty card, which is really nice to fill out, especially when we're going into this price point. So on a first glance, this looks very much like my 5600, and it might even be just as thick as my 5600. So on first glance, I'm not going to lie, this looks very much like the 5600 that I have in my hand here. Wow. You can see. As far as how thick it is a little bit thicker, I'm betting. Let's get the caliber and kind of see. So the 5610, according to my caliper, is 12.4. Let's just go ahead and zero that out. And this is 12.3. So it is a little bit thicker than the 5600. All right, so if we zoom in really close, we can see that we do have a different font than the 5600. And in between that red and white outline, you can kind of see it on camera, but that is where we have our solar panels. So there's actually solar panels on here to make sure this battery keeps going. I don't know if you can see that. You can kind of see it there. You can kind of see like the outline of the solar panels, which is really cool. That's kind of cool. And it's a light blue, whereas this is more of a dark. Yeah. All right, so let's try to get this set. So we're going to hold down the A. It's going to take us there. Now we're in HT. Now I'm in the South, so I'm not in New York. That's really cool that it flashes this city like that. Not in Halifax. So we might have to go for a while. All right, now we got Chi-Town. And you notice I didn't have to set anything. This is actually the correct time from where I'm at as of recording this video. So that's so cool that we can select a time like that. All right, so we have the correct date and everything, and that's how you set the time. You just select the correct city for your time zone and you rotate through them. So this is almost like a world timer and a G-Shock all in one. And now it does have like the world time zones, but if you look at this, it doesn't have the map, but the face, the watch face is actually a little bit smaller, even though it is a little bit thicker. All right, if you want to rotate through the settings, first we have, this is the main page. It's going to tell us the day of the week, the date, and the time. But if we want to go to the next button, Now we have world time mode, and this is really cool because it's like the world timer, but we can go through different cities. So right here, that is the current time that you're in, and then this is going to be some different cities that we can rotate through. So now number 2 is London, and that's what time it is in London. We can do number 3 is Paris. So you can set up these numbers to be specific time zones that you want, which honestly, this watch is becoming, in my opinion, one of the ultimate G-Shocks all in one. So we're back to number 1, which is UTC, but you can set those up to be whatever you want. So now we're in our alarms, and once again, we have multiple alarms. That's why it says number 1 on there. So alarm 1, 2, you can set up different alarms on that, which is so cool. Then we number 2, this is our stopwatch mode, and it's just going to function like a normal stopwatch where we have like start, stop, all of that good stuff. You can see here, we can start it and stop it, and then we can even like reset it and stuff if we want like that. So now reset that, and now we're going to go to back, and then this is our timer mode. So this is just like a countdown timer, so we can start that if we want. So now it's going to count down 10 minutes. So now we can reset the timer, and it's just 10 minutes. And I believe we can change that, but it is defaulted to 10 minutes. But what's also still cool is that we still have the current time up there in the corner, and that's the countdown timer mode. And if we press this again, it's going to take us back to our normal mode here. So this G-Shock, in my opinion, is getting cooler and cooler. And the fact that it's the same size, it's essentially the same size as the normal 5600. Now, obviously, the price point is a little bit different, but this is probably the coolest G-Shock I've owned that can do all of this different stuff, especially when you have these world time zones. So what's really cool about this watch on why it gets the time and the time zones automatically is because this does receive like signals going through the air. It receives from atomic clock through those different times to make sure the time is correctly based on the city that you picked. So you're supposed to leave this like in a window or something like that when you take this off at night. And it supposedly does this automatically.